Go and join the meeting. It's almost time.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Great. So I believe you can
Good
hear me.
evening.
Well,
Good evening, Mr. Kurudi.
welcome to, thank
Good
you.
evening.
Welcome to the webinar, the second enrollment webinar. We'll be starting fully in a minute, and that will be exactly 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Okay, let me confirm. Can you see my screen? What can you see there?
Solidity Enrolment Webinar 2.
Okay. Yeah, you have seen correct.
Solidity Enrolment Webinar 2.
Okay, please mute yourself for now. Okay, let's get started. Good evening again, everyone. It's been a ride so far, even though the flight has not taken off yet. So we've been preparing ourselves towards the kickoff of the class, and the class will be kicking off on the 20th of June. Now, let me just permit you to unmute yourself for a second or 30 seconds. How's it been with you? Your registration, getting on board?
Yeah, it's been wonderful.
Okay.
Well, it's okay. It's going fine.
All right. Thank you, Sir.
It's actually very good. But
Okay. Now, I want to check the level of your excitement again. During the last webinar, for those that were in, I asked about how excited, how
Well, I attended the last one actually, but just watching the replay already, I really can't wait to start. Like, I'm just feeling this feeling in my body, like let's just start this thing.
Sorry, I was muted. Okay, so those who were not at the last webinar, I believe you must have watched the replay to catch up on what we're doing and what we will be doing. So please let me quickly say this. We've been sending out emails, and if you've not been getting our emails, then something must be wrong somewhere. So you need to reach out to us. You could send a mail to recruitment@imacacademy.tech to lodge the complaints. And yes, because those emails are important. They are information loaded, and you may want to avoid missing out on things that we send across. So please make sure you are getting emails from us. And these emails, sometimes it might get into your promotion folder or your spam folder. Just make sure you find a way of moving them to the primary folder. This will help you get correspondence directly into your primary folder. If you have not joined the Telegram group, make sure you join tonight. It's helpful. And then we'll talk about other things that we'll be doing after now. So let's get into it. I want to check if our CEO is in already, Mr. Gabriel Shobande. Are you in, sir? Okay, I believe he will join us soon if he's not in yet. So I'll get back to sharing my screen. Kindly
No,
mute
can
yourself.
you give me 1 minute? I'll be right with you.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, sir. So I'll get back to sharing my screen. Just mute yourself. If I need you to speak, I will ask you to speak. So before I share my screen, I want to be sure we're all muted, except Mr. Gabriel and I. So if you are not muted, you will be delaying everybody. So please mute yourself. Thank you. Please mute yourself so that we can make progress. I think there's still someone. Okay, so I've muted everybody's. Mr. Gabriel, sir, kindly unmute yourself when you join in or when you're set. So, okay, I'll share my screen right away.
I have unmuted, yes.
Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yes, I can, yes.
Okay, great. So welcome everybody to Solidity Enrollment Webinar 2. Webinar 1 was great, but we spent a lot of time because people had questions. So if you have not watched the replay, I'd advise you to hop into the YouTube channel to catch on the replay. It's informative and yes, let me just say it's loaded with a lot of information, a lot of answers to questions that you may have. And so tonight is just an addition to what we have said before and more information. So we do not plan to stay long. However, if your questions keep coming in, we'll have to respond to as many as we can tonight. For the sake of those who are just coming newly, I'm going to run through the introduction one more time. Mr. Gabriel Shobande is the CEO of IMAC Academy and Grandida LLC. Grandida is the recruiting body that gets you a job. IMAC Academy is the training body that trains you through your Solidity programming course. Now, Mr. Victor Duroshomo is our managing director and also the partner of our CEO. So I believe he will also join us in the course of this program. He may be in already. And we have Mr. Abimbola Olaure. Mr. Olaure is the Solidity instructor. You must have seen him engaging with you on Telegram. Yeah, so he's our instructor for this program and he's fun to be with. Mrs. Joyce, yes, our project director. She's always at the back end ensuring things are going smoothly. Thank you for all you do, Mrs. Joyce Obidei. And we have also the technical director, Mr. Timileyin Amoye. Mr. Timileyin has been helping with technical issues, trying to make sure your onboarding is smooth enough for you to go on in this course. And yes, Mr. Korede Kolaole, it's nice having everybody on board. And the flight is about to take off, and we're excited to have you in here. Just stay passionate, stay committed, because there's a goal. Eventually, there's somewhere you want to get to in terms of your career and in terms of your earning. So stay with us. We have some information tonight. Sir, I will be asking you some questions to keep our participants abreast on what they need to do, things they need to focus on, and why this program is important to them. Now, we've had the first webinar. You've answered quite a number of questions, and some participants are done with their prerequisite courses already. There are 2 of them. So most, like I see on the Telegram, most have audited these courses, and so they are doing well. What do you have to say to us now at this point? What's the hot gist for us, if you would permit me to say that, sir?
No, please, can you repeat that? What's the question? Sorry about that.
Yeah, so what's the update you have for us? I know you have some things to tell us about scholarship on Coursera and a few things like that. Now, bringing you on board for this first phase, what do you have to say to us? What encouragement do you want to bring our way as participants of Solidity programming course?
Well, we're always looking for things to make things maybe easy for everyone. And one of the things we found out in the past days is Coursera actually has a financial aid package, and we kind of coupled it. We know some people have taken advantage of it. It takes about 2 weeks. And what it does, it just gives you flexibility to take your course. And the way I understand it, you can correct me when you check.
I'm in the meeting.
Please mute yourself.
I'm in the meeting.
Distracting the class. You are distracting the class. Mute yourself if you are just coming in. Sorry about that, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
So they have a financial aid package that some people have availed themselves of, that we're aware of. So what it involves is we're going to go through that. Mr. Amoye is going to go through that and a little bit just to explain to her it's done. What that does is we don't have to wait till the 10th week. You'll be given the package of classes, I think 11 at a time, to take, which you don't have to pay anything. So, and then after those 11, you can apply for more. The total number of courses we offer for this, for Solidity is 26, and 6 certificates from very top-notch universities in the world. Certain courses that, but if you get the financial aid package, which we shall go through in a little bit, then that helps a bit. It really doesn't. We budgeted to do it, but the way we budgeted is like you have to wait, and at some point you have to do a whole lot of work. People who don't get financial aid who have opted to work with us will also get that advantage anyway. But I think the financial aid is a much better deal for everyone. The other thing I want to mention over and over again is about plagiarism. If you they have a plagiarism engine, which means that if you can help, you can talk, but if you have the same answers to questions, and there comes a time that thing will pop it out that, hey, you're cheating, and that means your certificate and the certificate of whoever you are helping, it is that good. So please, you can talk and help each other, but don't copy the same answers. There are cases when it's understood some answers will be the same. I mean, that's defensible. You know what I mean? When 2 + 2 is only 4. You know what I mean? So that's not what we're talking about. But it looks into certain constructs and, to see that there's no way these 2 should be the same. And then they will say, we'll just pop it out that, okay, we suspect this as plagiarism. So I would say, let your work be your work. It's going to be hard, but it's doable. It's been done. We're not doing something that's not been done before. So, so that's what I have to say. If I want to address those 2 issues right now.
Okay, thank you, sir. A few responses from the survey we put out earlier. Some students were talking about timing. I know you may want to say something about that, about timing of the training, how the volume of how they may feel constrained with time in terms of the volume of the courses they have to take. What do you have to say about this, sir?
The timing and the volume of work, right? That maybe it's a short period for a whole lot of work, right? Okay. Part of what we're trying
Yes,
to do is, I mean, if your pace is slower, your pace is slower. Completing the course is very important. So everybody, what we will want is, because the way we arrange this, we are looking for certain outputs so we can place people at a certain, timelines. So if you don't really meet that timeline, we're not going to throw you away, but you may have to wait a little bit longer than the people that finished on time. We're going to give priority to those people. And also, the reason why we put in a whole lot of courses is we need to have people well trained. Really well trained. And the reason is we know where we came from. We just have to understand who you are. We are Nigerians. I believe we are very hardworking. I believe we are very smart. But we have this reputation, which also goes into plagiarism. So we want to make it like somebody would say, oh, look at Kazim. And Kazim, is Nigerian and all that. Then they test his skills. They find that Kazim.
If you are not muted, you will force me to kick you out of the meeting. You are disturbing others. You are disturbing the webinar. If I find it that you are not muted, you will force me to kick you out. Please go ahead, sir.
So it's actually disrupting my start first.
Just go ahead, sir. I will kick the person out.
I forgot who I was talking about. No.
Yeah,
What was I talking
about Nigerians being smart and being hardworking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're hardworking. But then they say, Michael, you have to mute yourself, please.
That's Michael.
I first one call, you say, wait, which one would you say we will buy?
Michael, I'm not sure you are disturbing everyone. Can you mute yourself, please? Yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Anyway, we can get out of that.
I removed him already. Go ahead, sir.
We're having somebody else.
Yes, don't worry, sir. Go ahead. I have my phone with me while I use my laptop for the meeting. I'll kick anybody who disobeys out. We have to be disciplined.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, could you please mute so that we will have a seamless meeting and get out of here as soon as possible. So, but then the query, say that you are Nigerian and through no fault of yours, that the two people that met and had a kind of a conjugation and had you live within the bounds of geographical Nigeria. It's not your fault. It just happens that where they were at the time. So, then you're gonna carry that. But then is the reality for all of us. So you gotta prove yourself in competence. So, which is why we make the course. We know that if you can go through the rigor of finishing the course, that speaks some volume about you. Not just knowing something that you can stand. It's toughen. We want the process to toughen you. But it's not only, people. There's the orientation is going to actually be much harder than the classes, because that's where we need to do some other things. You actually take more courses during orientation. You build portfolio in which you can actually build real life, really good to goodness real products. Well, like some of those products to be as collaborations, would like them to be individual products, something that's just you. Like maybe Ali Sunday, Ali Ogochukwu is the one that builds it and he has his name on it, because all those kind of things helps you. Because when you build or solve, we're going to encourage you to go to different blog sites, to different, and just, if people have problems, you solve those things. and your name gets there where people begin to think, okay, we got something there. So those are the things why we set this thing. In a short period, we want a lot of undeniable set of courses that people will have to say, okay, yeah, we have somebody very good here. And, they will, it won't be an issue hiring you because we need to rewrite that, what people say about us that, they now realize, okay, yeah, okay, we got somebody competent here. It's for us to prove. It's a harder sell, but it's becoming increasingly easier with Nigerians because all over the world, Nigerians, before you, they've got even people, seemingly don't do well at home, but, they go, at least in the United States, Nigerians are very successful. They are regarded as competent in a whole lot of fields. I mean, like really brilliant. So we're beginning to change the narrative that, okay, I mean, it always has been like that. Actually, in the United States of America, the largest group from national origin with the highest education are Nigerians. I mean, more than 2 times in percentage, not in volume, but by percentage, were the number of the second place position, which are Chinese. Nigerians are 39%, college degrees, Chinese are 19%. So that's second. So we are way above, in this country, if nowhere else, the best educated by far than any other group. But there's other things that drives their narratives, to want to, maybe because we're Black, and they just find things. Also, we think they'll come up with something. Say, I know something. Well, what the heck do you know? The guy is brilliant. The guy is brilliant. So, but we can change that because people who need to solve their problem, the racism goes out the window eventually because they just need to solve their problem. So what happens is you're trying to solve a problem and you have the best candidate. If you're trying to solve a problem, I'm going to get the best person to do it. And then, but before people would say they don't want Black, but the Black guy is the smartest dude. So the other guy will have him and they will do better than you. So when it comes to pure competence, they just eat the humble pie. If you are that good, then they will come looking for us. They'll come looking for you, which is why we did that, Mr. Korede.
Okay, sir. All right, thank you, sir. Just a moment. I want to hear from Mr. Olaore. Mr. Olaore is the Solidity instructor. I've heard you say he did it in 3 months. So, Mr. Olaore, is there something you want to say to us about how it was possible for you to run through this within a short space of time? Probably that would be an encouragement to other participants, sir. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, sir, Mr. Korede.
You're welcome, sir.
Good evening, everyone, once again.
Yes, sir.
Actually, there are some people that have been talking to me. We have been getting along. They asking me a series of questions, but what I keep telling them is, number one, dedication. Because if you know what you are looking for and what you are in for, so you need to dedicate your time. Give your time to what you are looking for. Give your time and make sure that you have time to read. The bottom line is create enough time for reading and for practicing. There is no shortcut to it than to devote your time. That is your dedication and your commitment. After that, nothing more.
Okay, so I heard you. What I could pick from what you have just said is you dedicated time to learning it through, and you are successful through it, right?
Exactly.
Okay, tell us, how easy is it to pass the exams? The Nigerian setting, you have theory. You feel like your lecturer is trying to haunt you with questions. Is it the same with Coursera? Is it the same with international exams? How easy were the exams for you?
Yeah, like I've said the other time, number one thing about the exam is number one, it is easy to pass if you can pay attention to all the resources that you that are at your disposal. If you can pay attention to it, read it from end to end, it is easy to pass. And about their quizzes, their questions, if you have attempted it first time, you didn't get the score mark, the cutoff mark, you can attempt it again the second time. And if you failed it again, you have to wait for another 24 hours or 12 hours, because you'll be asked to go back to materials to go through it again. And after that, you can come over again to attempt the quiz or the quizzes.
Okay, amazing. So I think some people should relax as a result of what Mr. Olare has told us. You just need to be committed. Thank you, sir. Mr. Gabriel Shobande, our CEO, sir, I want to come back to you if you don't mind.
I don't mind. Please.
Yeah, so the reality of work or job placement, for the sake of those who may newly registered, the reality of work placements. Can you give us just a, should I call it hint or further guide on the reality, the international market, the demand for Solidity programming? Now, I know that what is it called? The salary tag is enough to encourage someone in Nigeria or anyone in Africa. But how real is this job placement?
Well, there's a whole lot of skills. I mean, a lot of need for skills, even because Solidity is a broad-based thing. It has many branches. It has blockchain. It has decentralized dApps. It has DeFi, decentralized finance, NFTs. It has cryptocurrency. It has blockchain. So, I mean, and in learning it, you actually specialize in some courses which are in and of themselves, offer them. So what we've done is try to build into your instruction set skills. When you learn that, I mean, you will be able to always be employable more than probably most other qualifications you could ever have in your life. I mean, you can almost be assured that, I mean, there's people who have this kind of skills, at least in the United States. I'm not certain who actually work. I have a friend, he just works 9 months and he just take off and he knows he will get another job 3 months and he takes off with his family and he just enjoys his life. And for the 3 months, they're gone. No work, nothing. He doesn't wake up to do work, even though this he could do remotely. He doesn't even care. Americans are calm. They like quality of life like that because he thinks it's made enough for the 9 months. And so there is a lot. This area of technology, I don't actually see it. Not only are companies coming up with incredible sets of products, the one we hear most about is just cryptocurrency, but it's just one branch of a very big tree. So there are not only countries, there are nations all over the world trying to build products around this. I mean, so I don't see it. Fortunately, in that case, you know, we speak English. So all the countries where English is spoken, but tell you the fact, we're dropping the bucket for US job market. They could suck up maybe 1,000 times whatever we produce. I mean, maybe more than that, maybe 10,000 times that, because there are companies all over in different products. I mean, they can, they need people who can help them. They're not just looking for you to pass the exam, but they need people who will actually do the work well. Like I was explaining the last time, the reason why we have the orientation is we need to get some kinks out. People to make sure the people we actually end up with the first 3 months of orientation to see if you belong with us, even though you want to be with us. If you are giving us, don't come to work, or you come to work, you just show you are working and you are running a loop program, pretending and you're doing anything. We'll know that. I mean, the way you're giving us is where you're gonna game the customer, your client eventually. So we're gonna tell you to go. We want people who actually will come and really learn and learn and learn and actually be ready for the workforce. The workforce is going to be really tough. I mean, you get a job, but another thing to keep it. You won't be able to game a job because people, all these competent people working together. And then, I mean, one thing we're building into this is the people who graduate in the same class, we want you guys to be eternally like classmate, like you went to the same high school or university, you graduate the same year. You can be there for each other. You probably, to a great extent, have the flow, even classes that didn't graduate the same year who could help you, but you can't perpetually be dependent on people helping you. I mean, because at some point you need to come into your own. And more than that, you have to come into helping people, not just somebody who has their hands out. So I would advise that, just try to first finish the course. That's the first hurdle. But the second and the more important hurdle is just say, listen, I'm going to be good at this thing. If anything was doing, that's what doing at all is what doing well. So I'm just going to be good at this. It doesn't mean you're going to be good at the end of 6 months, but keep your eye on the power, so to speak. And listen, I'm going to get good and keep upping your skills. You will get to where you need to get to. But that is what will serve you well. That is what we first. The most important is keep your job. Not getting a job on paper. You always look good. They look at what you've got and they want you, and then they will get you and they'll be disappointed. And they'll just because they don't have time to kind of play around. They just say, "Hey, wish you well, goodbye." I mean, immediately they think so. So, but you don't want to be that guy. You want to be the guy that everybody's enamored of, where they dump things, they need you, and then I mean, you are a resource to that company. You are somebody they actually, and that will determine your value. Where you can, if it gets like that, like everybody keeps saying, you know,
Mute yourself or you
okay.
get kicked out of the meeting. Please mute yourself.
When everybody says, "Oh, no," I saw BK said, I saw BK said, I saw BK said, that means OBK is a smart guy in the room. When they can't, they kept mentioning your name. So as OBK said, they want to say something. So it's whatever you say to cover their butt. They say, "Oh, this is what the smart guy said." When you become that guy, when you become OBK, and then your life is good. Your future is secure. That's where you want to be.
All right, thank you, sir.
So yeah, don't worry about that. There's more than enough jobs out there. There is, and we have the time to really be able to winnow the very best. If you're not comfortable, you will know we're not going to spring it on you at the last minute, like, oh, you've done all the things you need to do and you've done it well. If you are at that group, no matter how many, will know what to do with it.
All right, thank you, sir. And so at this point, we want to get into the scholarship thing. And Mr. Moye, I need you to unmute yourself. I'll also make you a presenter. Please unmute yourself. Let me identify. Mr. Timothy, okay. All right, great. So I've made you a presenter. So just go ahead and share your screen.
Okay, hold on. So can we all see my screen? Mr. Corey, is my screen visible?
No.
Not yet.
Okay. It'll be coming up.
Sorry, we can't hear you clearly. It's breaking up, kind of.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So is my screen visible yet?
No, not to me yet.
No, it's not. Okay, sure.
Don't worry, we're still going to have room for question and answers. So we just have to present what we have for tonight before we get into question and answers.
So how about now?
Okay, visible.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay.
So pay attention,
So,
everybody. Over to you, Mr. Timlane.
So hello everyone, and as you've heard before from our CEO, Mr. Gabriel and Mr. Korede, we are going to present, Coursera offers financial aid to students who they deem to have met some certain requirements and have applied. So I'll just walk you through, or rather give you a brief explanation on how the whole process works. Now, as you know, we have about 26 courses to take for the whole Solidity program. And ideally, according to our normal schedule, students will be tasked with taking their tests and exams in the 10th week. But we noticed that, or rather, we came to the conclusion that some people might find that too tasking, having to take numerous exams in just a span of a week. So we found out that Coursera offers this financial aid where you can then apply for a batch of 11 courses. And once you are granted the financial aid or you have been accepted, you can then take the course in its totality. That means you can take the quizzes, the exams, do the projects, and get the certificates without waiting for candidate to pay, or without waiting for the 10th week. So that offers you some sort of flexibility, or some sort of, I won't call it ease, but yes, it makes things easier for most people. Now, the way the financial aid thing works is you go to the course you want to apply for. So let's say you want to apply for a Python course, for example. I can just open my browser. Sorry, don't mind me. I want to demonstrate it. Okay, so let's open Coursera. Coursera.com. .org. Coursera. And if you're looking for a course on, take any course on Python, for example, University of Michigan. So this is the exact course we are taking in the.
I'm sorry, I can't see the screen because I can't see anything.
Then it's from your
sorry.
end. Find a way around it. We can see screen.
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay then. So as you can see, this is a course. This is a Python course. The one we are taking in the program.
Let's emphasize
now, as you can see.
Mr. Man, let's emphasize that courses we want them to use the financial aid for is the courses they're taking. They should concentrate on that. Then later they can take other courses. But you go ahead, please.
Okay. So you head to the course which you want to take, or which is in the schedule that is on the LMS platform. And on the course enrollment page, as you can see, there is a link that says financial aid available. So what you do from there is just click on that. Says I have to log in. And okay, when you click on that, you'll be redirected to a different page where you have to fill in some, you have to check some boxes and confirm that this is your account and confirm that you would finish the course on time. Now, after that, you would be asked to write 3 essays or 3 short essays on. So one of the essays will be on why you deserve the financial aid. This is one. Now the next one will be on why the course you want to take, which in that case was Python. Why the course you want to take, why and how the course you want to take would help you in your career. And then the last essay is on if you can afford to take a low collateral loan to pay for the course. Now, it's based on these 3 prompts, the 3 responses to this question, and some other information about you, like what you do, your income, you're earning a year, how much you are willing, or how much you think you can be willing to pay.
Mr. Maye, can you write them down? So you're writing all those other reasons, because I want to address this once you're done.
Okay, so other things they consider are your level of education. So you see something where you can, if you have a high school degree, you have a master's, a bachelor's degree, or you're still in the level of education. Then your annual income, then your occupation, and how much you can afford to pay for either the course or as a monthly fee. So you can, whoever that is, mute themselves. So based on these 7 criteria, they would, after submitting, you would have to wait for a period of 15 days where they evaluate all these things. And after 15 days, you would get a response on whether you've been accepted or whether you've been rejected. And just to note, even if you were rejected the first time, you can still apply again for the course. So nothing stops you. You just have to polish up maybe your essay, maybe one of your essays isn't good enough. You have to polish that one up, then reapply, then wait for another 15 days. So I think after that, what then really matters is how you want to schedule the courses. Because remember I said we can only apply for 11 courses at a go. That is concurrently. So after the 11 courses and 2 weeks, and you've gotten decisions on the 11, you can apply again for the next 11 courses that are in, that, as Mr. Gabriel has said, are in the schedule or are in the course outline for Solidity. So that is that about applying for financial aid. And after this, if you have any questions, yes, you should.
Please leave
ask.
your screen while you answer questions. You answer the question, then I want to address some of the things, the 7 items we listed when you finish.
Okay, so I'm going to call those who have
the
their
questions
hands
will be
raised.
after.
No, Mr. Moye, please leave your screen there. I'm looking at it.
Okay, sir, you want the questions
I'm
to come
leaving
in
it
now?
No, I want Tim to answer all the questions first. I'm sure they will have questions for him.
All
then
right,
after, I want to address the things he wrote on the screen. The 7, I want to address what they mean, what it actually translates to. That's what they ask, but I want to explain my own understanding, to explain to the guys here, attendees, that this is what they actually mean, or at least my own understanding, and my best translation that I think would be to their best advantage. Best way they should probably answer the question.
All right, sir. So, Princess Diamond, your hand is raised. Can you unmute yourself now to ask your question quickly?
Good evening. Can you please hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. My name is Princess Marine. Thank you so much for this course. Okay, yes, I have a few questions. My first question would be, okay, I have actually okay, the courses that we're supposed to be taking now before the classes officially start are blockchain and cryptocurrency foundation. So how do we opt for the financial aid when, for example, I have already clicked on audit this course? So how would we go about that, please?
Okay, so a condition for applying for the financial aid is that you can't have started the course, you can't have started a free trial or anything on the course. So you have to cancel your enrollment in the course, then apply.
On Coursera?
Yeah, not your account.
Yes.
On Coursera, yes, on Coursera. So on the specific course, you have to cancel your enrollment if you've enrolled with a free trial or something. Then we have that.
Mr. Mayor, I want to ask, what if it's a course like we gave them 2 courses they can play with right now? If nobody really needs to, can they now go to one of the core courses while they are still auditing those ones? Like, let's say.
They can go to one of the core courses now and apply. So in 15 days from now, they get the decision.
Okay, so in that case, there's no need for unenrollment. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, if they've not started a trial on those courses, then there's no need for unenrollment. You can just apply for your financial aid.
They are on and then one of the core courses, then you can use those as a basis. So I would say maybe not everybody should go for the same number 1 course on the list. Stagger it so that increases your chance, so they don't see a pattern that, oh, the first course is what everybody's taking. And they figure out how come we have 500 people that have only the same course they're taking. So that may trigger something. So you may try for me, I'll take the last course or something in the middle as the one I will use. And then what is the other question the lady has?
Yeah. Princess, go ahead and ask the other questions.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so what I'm trying to get here is that I shouldn't unenroll. I should continue auditing those courses, right?
Those prerequisite courses, yes.
Yes, because they are not part of the core.
They are not your core course.
Okay. But then
but you will pick one of your core courses. You use those for that one. You only need to use one course. Mr. Moye, is there only one course you need as a bait to apply for financial aid, or you need to show a slew of courses you want to take?
You can apply for one at a time. I mean, that's the way it works. You need to need to go to each specific course and apply for that course.
But then they will give you 11 anyway, right?
No, you have to apply for 11 different courses.
Okay, then you need to apply for 11 different courses. So does it mean you have to actually enroll in all those 11 courses?
So you shouldn't enroll in the courses before applying. So once you've applied, and if you've been granted the financial aid, then they will enroll you automatically.
Okay, you don't have to, but you have to.
But don't enroll before applying. That is the baseline.
You have to enroll for 11 courses before you apply?
No, you have to apply for the scholarship for the financial aid before you enroll. Don't even enroll until they give you the go-ahead of on the financial aid.
So do you need to list the 11 courses while you are applying? Is my question.
You don't need to list it to them. So okay. you know on the LMS platform, you have the links to the 11 courses. So go to each course one by one, then apply for the financial aid.
For each one?
Yes, for each one.
Okay. Okay, but you're not enrolled. You just apply for financial aid.
Yeah.
Yes, you're not enrolling yet.
Okay. Guys, I would say mix it up. So whoever is not taking the first 11 courses from the top, just mix it up in different versions. You know what I mean? Okay. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
So, Princess, are you done?
One more question, please. Okay, so the 11 courses that I need to enroll for are definitely like a compulsory. I need the certificates for those 11 courses, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, I think that's all my questions.
All right, thank you. You can lower your hand. Sulaiman Ibrahim, kindly unmute yourself and ask your question now.
All right. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you very much for this opportunity you have given to us. I really appreciate everything. So my question is with regard to the compulsory 11 courses. As I can see here, this item 3, that if you can afford to take a low cholesterol to pay for the course. So I don't know, why do we need the financial aid for the course?
Because okay.
Go ahead, please.
Hello. So to get a certificate on Coursera, you need to do one of two things. You either pay a monthly fee of $49, or some courses have a specific fee you can pay, which varies from about $150 to $99. I've seen some of $99. So if you can't afford either of those things, that is when you should apply. That's when one would apply for the financial aid.
All right. So if they approve you now, so it's going to be completely free.
Yes, completely free, and you get your certificate.
Oh, all right. So my question, second question is with regard to the program. So I can see in the program description you said that you're going to provide a laptop, a router, just to set up
that's during the orientation. 3 months into your orientation time.
Oh.
Yes.
You won't get anything for the course. You won't get anything even for the first 3 months. The first 3 months is to make sure you actually are what we are looking for. And after 3 months, then you get all those things. You get one of each. And the day you start work, you get 2 of each. We buy a second set of those things. So the reason we have to do is for redundancy. We don't want where you say, oh, my computer is not working. That's not an issue. You have to. My router is not working. You have to. My monitor is not working. You have to. Your keyboard, mouse, all those things that you need to do your work. Yeah, we build a redundancy into it. It's not possible that 2 of them may pack up. We're thinking the chances are good 1 of the 2 will work. So Well, the first time you get anything is 3 months. You will have finished the course on your own. You will have started orientation. And in 3 months, we look at you actually serious. You really want to be very good. We're not going to sprint it on you the last minute. If you come to work as you should and you're working really hard and you're doing very well, you're going the right direction, then yeah, in 3 months, usually what we tell people is that when it's 2 months exactly, you have to tell us, oh, okay, I'm going to be 3 months next month. So we can order your equipment, make sure it's in Nigeria, and you can get it, so that you have what you need.
All right. Thank you very much. That's all.
Thank you.
Wherever
right.
that person is, it doesn't have to be Nigeria. If it's
Yeah. All right. So Sulaiman, you can lower your hand. So I would like us to make something clear at this point. I hope I remember now. Yeah. Okay. I'll come back to it. I'll come back to it. It's to help everybody get clarity on something, and so I'll try and recollect and come back to it. In the meantime, Ayobami Olujimi, can you please unmute yourself and ask your question? So I will assume he's not here. His hand is raised. Please lower your hand if you don't have any questions. Samuel, Aleonomo. Apologies, I may have murdered that name. Samuel, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, good evening,
Can you hear
sir.
me? Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Let's take
This
it
is
one after the other. Ayobami, you have to hold on. I'll call you after Samuel. I already called Samuel again. So please mute yourself, Ayobami. I'll call you again after Samuel.
Okay, good evening.
Samuel,
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Good evening, everyone. Really appreciate this program. And so my questions is related to the Coursera program. So I've applied previously for the financial aid, and I didn't get any feedback from it at another time. So it's not really, how will I put it? It's not something that we can bank on. So I don't know if my suggestion would be if they can divide the course into two, we'll take the exam after the first 3 months. After the first 6 weeks, then the next 6 weeks we take the exam, because we can't really bank on the financial aid.
We've made arrangement for that. If you don't get the financial aid, if you have to work for us, we've made arrangement for that. We're not gonna, if somebody doesn't, we have to see that your account already. So in the 10th week, we're going to pay for people for a month. So that covers a month. The reason we're doing the 10th week is you will have studied and have all your things ready. So in that 10th week will be what we call exam week, right?
Okay.
So you will now take all the courses you've audited. Now you will opt to take that you want to enroll because you paid for the month. So you spend that week just going back. You have to furiously, people waste their money who don't finish it. Then we're done with you. Because about almost 3 months before, we won't even consider you for anything in the future. I know it's a small amount, but it shows us an idea of what we can expect from. So if you say, okay, I'm ready in the 10th week, those people don't get the financial aid, and they've opted to work for Grandida, we will have to pay for them to take the class. So at that time, to take to get the certificate, because we want everybody to get a certificate. So you will have to go back to all the courses you've taken, and that week you will take all the courses you've taken the first 10 weeks or 9 weeks. Now you have 3 more weeks to finish the course. So now that means you have 3 more weeks to finish the other things. So you can you are still within the same time range, so you can get all your 6 certificates. That's what we're going to do for that. So, I mean, we hope they give it to you. That gives you a lot more flexibility. It's actually better for you. If not, then you're still going to get the certificate. If you opt out, people don't get the certificate. We know we're saying it up front now. The 10th week is a certificate, we can call it certificate week or exam week. So you have to be ready, and all you do that week, there'll be formal class. We can discuss things, but the answers, you have to make sure your answers are your own. Don't share answers with somebody else. What you did will be, they will just cancel everything you've done. And after Mr. Kolawole, please don't forget at the end, Mr. Korede, I want to address the 7 things that Mr. Moye mentioned at the end, what I think they mean, but have people ask the questions first.
All right.
All the questions, yeah. After they've asked the questions, then I want to address those things.
Okay, Mr. Farmer, are you done?
Thank you. No, I just have 2 questions to ask more. Yes, so I want to ask regarding because we didn't address it. Somebody asked it during the last webinar. What's the pass mark for the courses?
Okay, we responded to that on the Telegram group. The course instructor said 85%. So we already responded to that on the Telegram group.
Okay, so I also want to, because the 3 month and 6 month thing is a bit confusing. I want to confirm that after this 3 month training, the people who passed would be
we'll get into the orientation period, which is 6 months.
And the first 3 months, they're going to be paid a stipend of 100,000 naira.
Okay, so let me make it clear. So after your training, which is 3 months, you have to, if you have opted in to work for Grandida, if you pass the exams, you have your certificate, you enter the orientation period, which is 6 months. Now, during the 6 months, you get a stipend of 100,000 per month. Now, in the first 3 months of your orientation, we check your commitments to work and your availability to do the work. So if you satisfy us, then you get the first set of gadgets 3 months into your orientation, after the first 3 months. All right, so after your 6 months of orientation, that's when you get placed on a job where you earn from the international companies.
Okay. Then so to confirm, the orientation would be like a full-time job.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Please lower your hand. So what I was going to ask earlier was clarity on this. What is it called? And you have just explained it now. The Coursera thing, so that they can know that IMAC has a plan. However, we're trying to make things. We're trying to see how you can get to do those exams maybe early, So I would also advise, as you audit these courses, you may want to note your quiz questions. You may want to note them down. So by the time you are taking them, there will be questions you are already familiar with. Okay, so Ayobami.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for the opportunity, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, my first question has been answered. But the second question is, when I was registering for this course, I have a number of people I referred also. Unfortunately, they didn't register for Solidity. They chose the second option. But after a while, after the first webinar, the feedback I started getting from them was concerning the final exams. I want to get clarity on that. I was told that they will be taking 2 exams after that is during the 10th week, and they'll be making a payment of $150 also.
That's for
yes,
RPA. Okay, let me make it clear. Let me make it clear. If that's your question, let me make it clear. RPA is robotics process automation, and it's different from Solidity programming. Now, RPA has 2 exams, and they have to take it 2 different times. Now, the fee for each of those exams, because this RPA is under UiPath. UiPath is an organization that coordinates robotic process automation. So for you to get a job in the international markets, you must have been certified by UiPath. So what goes on for RPA is the participants will take the exams by themselves. So those who eventually pass, because we don't want to waste money on those who will not be committed to passing. So those who eventually pass will, and have shown interest in working with Grandida, will get a full refund of the money they paid for the exam and then enter their orientation period. Now, for RPA, for example, the pay is lower compared to Solidity. RPA, for example, it is easier compared to Solidity. Someone can even finish in weeks compared to Solidity that you have a lot of courses to finish up. So all these courses have their what is it called? Yes, have their things related to them. So that's the way it works for RPA. So this is Solidity. I hope that was helpful.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So Edwin, please unmute yourself. Ayobami, please lower your hand so that we can know where I've responded to you. Edwin, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
I wanted to confirm because I noticed the list of courses we'll be taking are like, I think 3 or 4 different programming languages. Is it important to follow it in the way it is laid out, or we can take them differently? Like we might have people who are already familiar with one particular programming language and they want to take a different one first before going to the one they are familiar with. Yeah.
Okay, so okay, sir, go ahead, sir.
The way the instructor lays out is the sequence we want to follow, because I understand what you're saying though, but see, there's nothing that says you cannot.
Okay.
Baba?
Please mute yourself. Don't get kicked out of the meeting. Mute yourself if you're not.
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry.
So the way the course is we want to follow, because I understand what you're saying though. So if you already know, let's say Java, then I mean, you still have to take all the assignments, take all the quizzes to get the certificate in it, even though you know it. So you understand what we hope you do is, if you can also, be somebody, a mentor to people in the class on whatever is your strength. Not that you share your answers, but in general, you know what I mean? Each area that you think you are very good at, we encourage everybody to strut their stuff, help other people in the class, and just say, okay, this is it, and all that. But then it doesn't matter how much you know, you still have to take Coursera quizzes to get your certificate. So we would like to accommodate you, but what happens is, if you have a scholarship, for example, if let's say it's called financial aid, then yeah, you can zoom go through. You'll be done before the rest of the class. You know what I mean? Or you can do the ones you already know, and then you're waiting for the class. But the way we set it for other people who don't want to, who we are going to pay for, the way we schedule it is best for those people to follow the course schedule so that we can be able to organize and pay for everyone in the 10th week, and they can still get all the 6 certificates. That's why we think this is what most benefits everybody, following that course schedule. But another way is, if you think, heck, I have 150 in the 12 weeks, or if you're really good at those, let's say there are about, I think, 4 programming languages. How many do you think you are very familiar with?
About 2 of them.
Okay. I will say you can just save your arrows in your quivers and keep your powders dry. It may make your life much easier, but you still have to do those quizzes to get a certificate. I mean, you can know it, but there's some what they call perceived competence. People, they see a certificate from Duke, their eyes pop open. You know what I mean? They see a certificate from Michigan, their eyes pop open. So even if you know it very well, and you know, I could know you personally, I'm thinking like Edwin is incredible talent. But then you go into the outside world, they don't know that Edwin is a guru. But you know, let's say, let me see, Olushola, you know, is I mean, it's not Olushola. Yeah, Olushola is, you know, has a certificate and says, oh, I went to Duke. Then they're gonna consider Olushola before you. I mean, even though you are probably, you know it a whole lot more. So it's what we call passive competence. Is why we want everybody to get all those 6 certificates. They're getting these certificates from the best universities in the world. You're getting from Duke. You're getting from Rice. You're getting from University of Buffalo. You're getting from Michigan. You're getting from University of California, Davis, and then you get from University of California, Santa Cruz. So, you know, I mean, you are pretty much professionally set in this life. You may forget that when you apply.
Can you mute
Can
yourself?
you mute yourself, please? Tosin, please mute yourself. Okay. So what happens is people will see, especially when you don't have one certificate, you have 6. But then during the orientation, you're going to actually get more. You're going to take more courses, you're going to do more projects so that by the time I'm going to check your level of professionalism, coming to work on time, and really working very hard during the orientation. That so the way want to simulate what the real work environment will be. So we need you to step up to that level, not just some extraordinarily brilliant person who passed all these exams. That helps to get a certificate, but it won't help you. Somebody who barely passes the exam but passed, and what is a hardworking person would be a star quicker than a brilliant guy who doesn't give a damn, who just because they want consistency, a consistent output, somebody who can deliver every time. Not that you know it so well and say, I'll do it. You can do it, you can just sneeze and do it, but you just do it whenever you want. That does not work. They want somebody who will deliver in the time that meets the schedule for the whole organization all the time. So so that's that. So that's why we are scheduling it like that. I hope that answers your question. Can you let me deviate quickly and just go through this thing, then I will answer more questions because it may actually mean something, you know. Why do you deserve financial aid? Usually, when they say that here, financial aid is always need-based, not because I'm brilliant. They don't care. You know, it has to, if your father is rich, they don't see why they should give you anything, even if they're the smartest human being on planet Earth. So it used to be it's only on brilliance. People who score very high will get financial aid, but it's changed in recent years. Is financial aid scholarships have become need-based. You could have the lowest score, but they see promise in you, and they know you don't have the means. You are going to get it. You can score like maybe 51%, and the guy that scores 100 doesn't get it. So it's based on need. So I want you to understand that. So in answering your question, well, now the course will help in your careers. I mean, how will it help in your career? And say, you know, it has relevance to what you're studying. And one day you want to become a programmer. You don't have to, you know, I don't know what you say, but just be very intelligent in your answers. Don't make it too long, but make it relevant, you know. Too long will you begin to like snooker yourself with too many. Just give very straightforward, simple, short answer for that one. if you can afford to take low collateral loan to pay for the cost, the answer is should be no. You can't. I mean, level of education, that will be whatever you give. I mean, you have. You just tell them. I don't know if that is the relevance of that. Annual income, you have to say what you make, but if you are making like a lot of money, they won't give it to you. So you can say, well, the average, what I would say is the average salary in Nigeria is, if it's me, and I'll say it's 50,000 naira, which is equivalent to $83 a month. And that's paying $49 a month is a big chunk of my salary. Everybody don't give the same answers because they are plagiarism answer. Just do a different variation of just what I've just said. That you're not making enough money, the income level is, you can say, this monthly payment is close to what I make per month, or different variations of that, so everyone doesn't have the same answer. Occupation, whatever you do, you just tell them what you do. How much can you afford to pay for either the cost or as a monthly fee? You can say you pay $5. $5 is, how much is that? 3,000 naira, Deba? Tell them that's what you can afford to pay. Yeah, you can pay 5. Let them know what you can pay. That they say you can't say you can't pay anything. So, well, you can say I'm making $90 a month. I can, after all my expenses, there's nothing left, but I can find a way to pay $5 a month. Okay? Or $6. It doesn't have to be 5 exactly, but very low. Don't insult everyone and say $1. So just say something low that is reasonable with what you are stating as your income. I would say 5. So I just want to address those issues so that, Okay, please go on with the question, Mr. Kolawole.
All right, thank you, sir. So the pass mark, I got corrected by our instructor. So please, it's 80%, not it's 5%. The pass mark for the exam. And I could also see, I saw it earlier in the chat box that we are promised scholarship, that IMAC Academy has promised scholarship, and it was explained earlier. Yes, scholarship based on, for example, let me be practical about that. When you come into Solidity programming as a course, the plan is for us to pay for your exams, particularly those who are planning to work with us. And the way it goes is we're not going to pay at the first month. We're only going to pay when we can have everybody take the exams. So asking you to ask for or to apply for financial aid is to enable you to, apart from auditing the courses, to fully enroll and then take your exams long before the general house will take it. So that's where it comes in. Don't get it twisted. Don't get confused about it. So we're still doing what we plan to do, but we have put a time tag to it. There's a time to it. However, if you want to run faster than the time, it's either you ask for financial aid or you want to pay all by yourself. Thank you. So I'll go over to Edwin, please. I think you're done with your question.
I had one more, but I don't know because of time constraint. Okay. Basically, I wanted to confirm because I have run a financial aid with Coursera before on data analysis, but I got a Google scholarship for it eventually. So I don't know what the possibility is to be able to get financial aid for 11 courses at once. And even if we are able to be taking it one after the other, I think the 2 weeks minimum period to get financial aid for those courses might be exhausted or won't be enough for us to take those courses one after the other. So I don't know if it's possible to run financial aid for certain courses and audit others.
No, I don't. I think it just takes 2 weeks to get you the result. You understand? For Coursera to say yes or no to you. You understand? So I don't see. I think the scholarship offers a measure of flexibilities where we are Anything that we think will benefit people outside of what we do, we want people to be availed of it. So this doesn't, if you've gotten a scholarship before, you may actually be able to, financial aid before, I think you may be able to go back because they already approved you in the past. So your situation might be much better than everybody else's. So you just need to say, okay, I want to take these other courses and see what happens. Let us know how that goes. I don't know how it goes. I'm not an expert on Coursera. But if you take theirs, what it does offers you the flexibility to go way up. You don't have to wait for 10 weeks. You may actually have finished the course before the class. It depends on how much time you can dedicate to it. You understand? So that's the advantage of the financial aid from Coursera. It's not something we just saw it, we came across it and said, okay, this would be a good thing. Because what we are looking for is for people to just do well. We just want you guys to do well. Then we're going to go through our orientation anyway. And the orientation is where, we really need to even ramp it up. The requirements and the studies and all that, so that we have a very hard boiled for a work or workplace. I hope I answered your questions.
That's okay, sir. Thank you.
All right, so Nubi Oludayo, please ask your question. We have to be very fast now. We still have many hands raised. Nubi Oludayo, if you are with us, unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Most of the people that answered questions, asked questions previously, have actually answered most of the questions, asked most of my questions. But one of the major questions I have here is, I have an account with Coursera. I initially have one account, a student account with Coursera. But unfortunately, the email I used then was different from the one I used in creating this account, the account for my iMac Academy. Then opened, recreated another account, Coursera account. So my question now is, won't it be a sign of fraud or something, having two Coursera accounts with the same name?
Okay, Mr. Timilani, please, what can you say about that?
Okay.
And the second question.
So the question is, you have Coursera account.
He has two accounts with Coursera. He said the account he registered on iMac Academy is different from the one he initially registered on Coursera. So he wants to know if there will be no conflict or a raise of concern from Coursera.
There shouldn't be any conflict. I don't know their rules or their policy regarding.
Your voice is a bit more.
Hello?
Good.
Okay, it's better.
Hello.
I said.
Hello?
Hello? So, what I was saying was that even though you have accounts, I don't think there will be a conflict.
I think my position is that could potentially be a problem. I don't think it'll be a question of fraud. I think it's going to be a question of, your certificate being legitimate in the future. You know what I mean? You have two names. I don't know how you're going to explain that. Why don't you consolidate, just register under the same name? Because you're going to get a certificate in this case, right? You do the work, it should be in your name. You understand? So I don't know how you resolve that. It's more a
You can close one account. You can close an account.
You can
it's
always
possible.
register
It's
with
possible
us.
to close an account.
That could create a lot of potential problem for you in the future. You have to think it through. I won't do it.
Okay. Okay. All right. I thank you. That will be all for now.
Okay, thank you. Please lower your hand. Kazim, Please unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, so Adeola Adelakun, unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good evening, sir, and thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Some of my questions have been answered, but there is one more. And the question is, if, for example, I apply for the financial aid, and maybe in these 2 weeks of waiting, does it mean I can't interact with the course? Like, I'm not permitted to audit it. I can't enroll for it. I have to wait till my application is approved.
Okay, Mr. Timley, over to you.
Yes, you have to wait until it's approved.
So to me, it seems if they have to wait for 15 days, and the timeline we have set for each course, or take for example, if they had to wait for 15 days for a particular course, and it's time already for them to take that course. So I think it's not going to work out that way. What do you think, Mr. Timley?
No, I think it may work out. What you do is the course you should use to apply to the courses that are due in the next maybe 8 weeks, 6 weeks. You know what I mean? When you want to register for your financial aid, look for courses that are way down the path, all right? Use those ones to apply. Understand? That's the way I would.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Would that be all, Mr. Adiola?
Yes, that's all. Thank you very much.
Okay. Please lower your hand. We'll go to Michael. Michael Kali. Please unmute yourself and speak now.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah. Good evening.
You can hear me? Okay. I think the last speaker already asked my question, because I actually have some little experience when it comes to applying for scholarship with Coursera.
Okay.
Yeah, financial aid. Thank you very much. Yeah, I did. I applied. There was a time when that was last year, when I did a UI UX design, and I had to apply for financial aid. So I got the financial aid actually, but I had to wait for 15 days before I could start. And within that 15 days, I could not enroll or audit, or else it will cancel my application. It will void my application. Okay, so that's it. Another thing I noticed was that for prerequisite. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, for prerequisite courses, like maybe if there is a course you need to take before you take another course, if you apply for financial aid for that course, I think the way I experienced it then, it is only the first course that you will get the aid for. That's if the application passed through. It is only the first course that you can get the aid for. The following course that serves as a prerequisite, they won't give for that one. I think you have to pay for that one. Because when I did UI UX design, I was supposed to take 6 courses, 1 each month. So the first month I got the financial aid. The second month they didn't give me. They asked me to pay to proceed to finish all my courses. So so that has been my experience. So I don't know. Now in this case, according to the CEO, he said if we are applying for financial aid, we should start from the courses that are way down the line, right? Like maybe those ones that are still weeks far away. Okay, so what about the ones that are already close by? Like the first one, like the Python basics. What do we do about it?
You audit them and you wait till the 10th week when you can take the exams.
Okay, so we audit the first 1, 2, 3 courses. Okay, the first 1 and 2 courses, then apply for financial aid for the second and the third course, the fourth course.
Yeah. So you because eventually, when it's going to be opened up for everybody, I mean, those who have enrolled to those who have shown interest to work with Candida, so that they can take their exams and get their certifications. Please mute yourself. Don't force us to kick you out of the meeting. Mute yourself if you are not speaking. So at the 10th week, it will be open to you so that you can take your exam. So what you can do is, while you audit in the weeks of those courses, take note of the quiz questions. You can get back to them, just revise based on what you have learned. And then when it's time for you to get back to them, it will be easy for you to take those exams.
Okay. All right, no problem. Let's see how it goes. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. So please lower your hand. Farouk, you have a question. Please, if your question has been answered, kindly lower your hand. We're trying to save time. We don't want to go too long tonight. Please save our time by lowering your hand if your question has been answered. Farouk, unmute yourself and ask your question if you still have any.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, so can everyone hear me?
Yes, but speak up.
Okay, thank you very much. So I have a suggestion, not necessarily a question. Talking about applying for financial aid. The last question I just talked about the difficulties in getting the financial aid, and I actually talked about it before now. How possible is it for numbers of people to get 26 courses on financial aid or even less? So I'm thinking, why can't IMAC get the question from Coursera as a standard question to be asked? Why would just audit the courses on Coursera, then IMAC take responsibility of examining our understanding about the course we are taking? Why can't IMAC do the assessment? Why would just go to Coursera, audit the course, learn from there, and come and take this exam with IMAC?
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Good suggestion. CEO, I think we talked about it.
Okay. I would think Coursera is now, they demonstrated their competence to the whole world. I mean, the level of courses they offer, which we don't have. It has to do with passive competence. I mean, people trust Coursera, they trust the courses they offer. Well, we don't have that yet. I mean, I agree with what you say, we could do it, but, well, if we're selling this to some other people, we're telling them, oh, this is what we can do, but we say, okay, Coursera, I mean, IMAC Academy, there could come a time when we could get to that stage, but we're not. We don't want to waste your time. Coursera, we offer our certificates from all the universities are in the top 100 universities in the whole world. So you have certificates that, people, and it's only through Coursera. We can't do it because Coursera is not going to say, okay, yeah, just give them something and then that'll be it. And it doesn't serve your course very well. So yeah, I'm going to say,
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one other perspective he was trying to refer to is if you can have a structure that could just in a little way test students' understanding of each course, so they could just go in while they still wait on the 10th week when they will do the main exam. So it's just like taking a test before the main exam. So if we can set up this,
I don't know if it will help because it's quiz based. The certificates are quiz based. Once we can do all those when we start orientation, we have more flexibility then you, even whether you are with us or you're not, you have within your hands something that should be able to, more than a PhD degree, you will have 6 sets of certificates that work more than anything cumulatively, the effect is more than any other education in the world. I mean, which will get you a job. That's what we're trying to do. I mean, you are more desirable in the modern workforce with those certificates than if you have a PhD. Than you have any kind of most educational qualifications you could ever have. So it's not just that. We want you to have within your hands something. I mean, they've set up a standard. The whole world accept that standard. We are not trying to set a new one. We're trying to set a new one, don't get me wrong, by making it in a short period so that you are stressed even more. We're going to do orientation, which is our own standard to make sure we have good quality employees, and you're going to take more ready. So, I mean, get you ready for workforce. So, but I don't think we're going to, it's in anybody's best interest if you don't get those, those certificates. You really don't need to get it. But if you don't get it, it's like we go in somewhere and say, oh, I know this guy, Michael Akali. He's really smart and he can do it. Well, I'm doing a sales job. I'm not going to be selling much. And for all I know, it could be the very best in the whole world. But there's nothing that shows them that, hey, Michael is top notch. If Michael just shows up and he writes a resume and he just unfolds the 6 certificates, I mean, that tells all the story. End of story right there. I mean, they're going to say, hey, Michael, I want to talk to you. Or get us that guy, Michael. So it's what's called passive competence. So we don't really need it, but we know the reason we need it is we need you to have something. We want you to have something in your hands, just for yourself. The certificate you get has nothing to do with IMAC. When you get it, it belongs only solely to you. It's tied to your name. So which is why I'm going to employ the guy that has to then make sure it is yours. Don't mess it up where you work and then there's a question mark about whether it's yours or somebody else for the rest of your life. So the name you want on the certificate has to be your own from the get-go, so that there's no. You may have to give something up, then you have to give it up. I mean, it's just if you need to re-register with us, that's not a problem. But do it the right way, or else you would have wasted your time.
All right, thank you, sir. So I want to
thank you
believe.
very much.
You're welcome. So I want to believe. Okay, Farouk, do you still have any other question?
Yes, one more. Yeah, one last question.
Quickly, please.
Okay, so I must confess this is very beautiful. It is very sincere. What's in the long run is something that is worth the stress and the hassle. But looking at it, there should be something for Candida and IMAX for having wanting to spend so much of their resources and time.
Okay, I understand your question, Farouk.
Yeah.
Were you at the last webinar?
I was.
Okay, so let me explain something again. Now, Grandida is the mother company. IMAC Academy is the training arm of Grandida. So if you will ever work with Grandida, you must have undergone your training through IMAC Academy. Now, IMAC Academy trains you for free. Now, those who want to work with Grandida will go through IMAC Academy. Now, when you get trained through IMAC Academy and then you have all your certificates, you can then apply to work with Grandida. Now, Grandida will link you up to organizations or companies in the US, particularly, looking for your expertise. Now, Grandida stands in between you and the organization, gets your pay from the company, also gets a percentage for standing in for you, and then pays you. So it's a business. It's not a charity organization. We get paid by those companies that will eventually pay you. I hope that is clear.
Very clear now. Thank you.
All right. So please, if you have questions on this financial aid, I want to believe that with all that has been said, we must have sorted it. So there should be no questions about financial aid any longer. Just do what has been explained.
I want to mention something, Mr. Kolawale, about religion.
All right.
Sorry. Religion is something I don't want us brought into this class in any way, shape, or form. I want everybody to be strong in their faith, and then just put it aside a minute before you get here. And when you leave here, you can pick it up again. I have a faith. I don't know if it's something I need to talk about. I mean, I can talk about it, but not here. I believe faith is a private issue. We warmly welcome all faiths, and then whatever that faith is. Our position is not to in any way favor or discriminate against any faith at all. That's imperative for us. Actually, we do not discriminate on anything at all. What we're looking for is your competence to do the job. That's the only main criterion we're looking for. So we don't, whatever it is that your faith is, please make it private. I mean, you can make it public, but make it public just before you get here and make it public immediately you leave here. Leave it out of this classroom, but we welcome you. We're not trying to we're not trying to have diminution of your faith in any way, shape, or form. But we don't want any specific faith to be the, to think they have a predominance here, or somebody has a faith where they feel uncomfortable that there's a predominant faith that kind of is taking over, and they feel, uncomfortable because their faith is the minority here. We're not. I just need to bring that up. It's really, really important to me. Okay.
Thank you, sir. So please take note of that. Now we want to close early today. We have platforms where you can ask questions. So we'll just take about 5 more, and then we close for today. So Farouk, please lower your hand. You've asked your question. Sharif Dean. Yeah, go ahead. Please.
Yeah. Okay. At the last webinar, I asked about the active account of iMac, which is that of Twitter and LinkedIn and the rest like that. And we were promised that that we'll see the feedback very soon. I think till now, I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Then the second thing is
go ahead.
Regarding that the final exam. So from my experience also on Coursera is that once you apply for financial aid, if you are given the first time, I don't know whether it's the processing or something. Once they start seeing that it's always financial aid, they may start not giving you that financial aid anymore, maybe after 3 courses. That's one. So, and the second thing is, I think this is a starting point for almost everyone. And one thing I just want IMAX to consider is that will it really be easy for one to really take that exam of so many courses like that, that last part of the month. So I am not saying that there's actually another alternative, but I'm just saying, will it actually be easy? For example, now if I finish my Python course, maybe in the first month, or let me say in the first half month, so then we're getting to the 10th week, which will be in the 3rd month. So will I still be able to recall? Sometimes they bring the questions from a kind of statement that was uttered in the class. So if such questions are being revised again during the exam, will it be easy for some people in this platform to actually recall those kind of answers and what they actually responded with during that time? So I don't know, maybe you will have to
no real exam.
Pass mark.
There's no real exam. There are quizzes you have to take. They're not like exams in Coursera. You have quizzes. In RPA, you have exam. You know what I mean? You have to. This one, you have a lot of tests, short tests. None of them is a big one. You understand? I know if you don't have, there are 3 ways that we can go around this. First is you get a scholarship, which gives you the ultimate flexibility. The second is if you have your own money, which is about $150, and you just say, heck, I'm just going to pay my way. I don't have time for this. So you pay $49 a month for 3 months, and you can. The third one is, I mean, if you are not working for Grandad is not going to pay. The third one is Grandad only wants to pay $49 for each exam course. So figure we may have up to maybe 200 people to pay for, and we don't want, but that'd be $10,000 a month. We don't want to pay $30,000. So we just want to pay for only one exam. So which is why we made it, because we figure ahead. We have students who are smart, so you just keep records of what you're doing. We're going to have the whole week. It's possible we could extend it, but I don't think it's in our best interest to extend it at that time, because you have a 4-week period where you have to take all your exams. So we want you to get all the certificates. We played around with the timeline to see what best benefits everybody. It's why we picked the 10th week. You understand? So it's
And there was something was said. A person asked a question the other time. He said the orientation time is more like a full-time job, and I think they replied saying yes.
Yeah,
So
it's a full-time job.
That's the orientation.
Just after you finish the coursework, you've passed everything. You can't start orientation until you finished. You passed all the courses and have all the 6 certificates.
Okay. Now, what I actually to ask from that aspect is that, for example, now if during like now for my own experience is that for you to actually be in that setting of getting a job, I don't know the plan of I might do is that I've never done maybe like JavaScript or something like that in Coursera before, but I've done it somewhere else before. But now I don't know, will there be project-based something during this training of 3 months? Will there be opportunity for us to learn together? Maybe we'll be grouped to something, I don't know. Or in the Coursera itself, is there a project-based resource or something there as well?
I think you guys will have to work as a group. I mean, except don't plagiarize the questions, the answers, that's all. You should learn from each other. People who know should strut their stuff and show that they know and learn.
Sorry, sir.
Then,
Let me say something.
huh?
Yeah,
Sorry
Mr.
for
Timley.
interrupting you.
I didn't hear you.
According to hello?
Yeah,
sorry for
speak up,
interrupting
Mr.
you.
Timley.
I think I understood his question.
Your voice is
So,
muffled.
hello? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Speak louder, please.
Yes, I was saying. I think I understand his question. Now, during the orientation period, you will be tasked on working on projects that you can put in a portfolio to present.
Yeah. After you finish, learn as much as you can during the course. Just get the certificate. That's the first thing. Get all the certificates. When you have all the 6 certificates, then you say, hoo, I have 6 certificates. Then you can start orientation the next day. You understand? So then for the orientation, you're going to take more courses. We're going to make you do projects to build your portfolio. We're going to want you to join groups. You need to build up a lot of alerts so that you increase your knowledge in the field of cryptocurrency. We need you to read news to know where it's trending. And then we need you to come to work on time, like full time. It's not like you're not 1 minute late. If you are consistently 3 minutes late, so that will not hold in real life. So you do all those things that need to be done well. And in 3 months, but somebody says, oh, my mom this, and then tomorrow my daughter this, and there's always an excuse. I mean, it may not be 3 months. We'll just say, well, I mean, we can't have you on the program. We really won't be able to. It's not, but then during those 3 months, you build, like Mr. Timlane said, you'll be able to build portfolio, do a lot of things, real life stuff. In all these areas, we may actually, we can ask companies sometimes, hey, those one we feel most confident about, that we think the skill sets are up. So listen, you want to try Lawal and Edwin and Farouk for 2 weeks, let them strut their stuff. If we're confident on their skills, yeah. And then we can, you can do, and say, look, yeah, they're good. Say, can we have them or something? And say, well, let's talk, you know. So, but we'll never do that until we are sure. I mean, so it's possible some people may not last 6 months, is what I'm saying. At least maybe if we people who are the top people, as time goes along, we begin to see, and then you feel confident, then we can gamble with those. Okay, listen, we have these guys here. We think they're ready, and then we shop those. So people may go as early as maybe 4 months.
Sorry, sir. And other thing is that today I didn't see us discussing about our classes that is going to start actually. I see that we focus more about the courses on Coursera. So now for the daily class we'll be having from 7 to 10. What will now be like what will it be about? Will it still be based on resources on Coursera, or
Yeah,
I still don't
everything
understand?
is based on Coursera. The resources on Coursera. The instructor is there, Mr. Olare. Yeah, I think there's a schedule. I don't know if you
Yes.
guys got the dates and everything for each course.
Yes, it's
So-
part of the email we sent out.
Thank you very much. That's all.
All right. So in a moment from now, I'm going to ask Mr. Olare to speak. Sharif, about your question on social media, that's already in the pipeline. From next week, you'll start seeing something on that. So, yes. So please, if you can type we can't go beyond beyond. We will not be able to do so much tonight. That's why we have group, and you'll still be able to ask some of these questions in the group. We want to be sure that we have done the basic thing that will get you started by 20th June. No, so let me say again that your classes start 20th June, and classes run from 7 to 10 p.m. So I'd like to have Mr. Olare say something to us before we try and round up for tonight. If you have anything to add, anything to say to encourage, over to you, sir.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Actually, I don't have much to say, but the only thing I just want to drop for my people is that they need to know that proper preparation prevents poor performance, and they need to get themselves prepared, as I've said at that time. And what they need is to be focused. They need to be focused, and at the same time to add commitment to it, because commitment is the key to it. And I don't want anyone to entertain any fear, maybe it's going to be tough or there and that. You just rest assured that whatever we are going to be learning is inside Coursera. And at the same time, what they are going to do as part of the quizzes is part of what they must have learned as well. They should just, all what they need is just to prepare themselves and make sure that they are ready for what they are ready for. That is just it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Mrs. Obide, do you have something to say, man?
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, I kept you in the pool. Mrs. Obide.
Okay, then it's a wrap.
Okay, thank you, sir. Please, apologies if we could not attend to your questions, but I want to say this. We have Telegram group. We have a Discord group as well that is on, a Discord channel that is on. So please join this group, check your emails, check inbox, check promotion, check spam folder to get information based on the emails we sent out. We keep sending out. That will help you. That will keep you on track and get you ready for the class. So on the final note, I'm just going to pick randomly, just 2 persons, and then we close with that. Concilia and Samuel Adedeji. Just two persons. Unmute yourself and ask. If you are not going to unmute on time, I will just go over to someone else.
All right. Hello, Mr. Korede.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
evening.
Thank you very much for the session tonight. Yeah. What I wanted to ask is that, all right. So, what if your someone finishes the your programs? I mean, all the courses before the end of the third month. Maybe you finish everything and you got your certificate. Are you going to wait for others to finish
No,
the?
you're not waiting. You're getting straight into your, if you have chosen to work with Grandata, you get straight into your orientation period. That makes you faster than anyone else.
All right. All right. All right. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Consider, I think I called you, but I think you're not in. Izu.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you very much. I didn't expect that my question will be answered. So, I wanted to ask about the certificates originally, but Mr. Shobandi already answered when he spoke about perceived competence. So that makes a lot of sense to me. But so I just want to go straight into some very specific things. So there's a lot of emphasis about the exam can also Mr. Shubami also claimed that when he said most of these things are quizzes.
Your voice is kind of muffled. There's a noise in the background. Not clearly yet. Still trying to get what you're trying to say. You are talking about exam.
Okay, what about now? Can you hear me now?
If you are using a headset or earpiece, can you remove it and speak directly to your phone so that we can hear you clearly?
Yes, I'm using my PC.
Okay, Dorian.
Hello.
Dorian, yes.
You can hear me now?
Partially. Just speak. I'll try and get you.
Okay, I wanted to ask. So my questions have been answered already. So I just want to ask the others that haven't been. So some courses now, for example, like C and C++, from the amount of material that we are expected to consume and also the exam to take on them, they might require like a longer amount of time than some courses like maybe JavaScript or Java. So I was wondering if it's possible the timeline for particular courses could be considered, like maybe the ratio in which we share the time. For example, Python has more, it has a larger time spent than the other courses, and it makes sense because there's more material to consume. But C and C, it seems to have more for us to consume, than JavaScript and Java. I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, this question is basically for us. So,
okay, I think I get your question. So I'll just pass it to your instructor to take notes if it's something that is possible. So, sir, Mr. Olaore, what he's trying to say is some courses may be more tasking than others and may require more time than others. So he was trying to suggest the possibility of dedicating more time. But however, the response I will also give is the timeline has been factored in, the demand of each course has been factored in. But when you get into your main class, there will be discussion, more suggestion, more survey. So when you bring this thing up, if it's something that could be considered during the training, it will definitely be considered. So I want to thank everybody for coming on board or coming in tonight. It's been a good time. Solidity has always been taking time compared to RPA. So that tells you that you need more dedication and yes, you can achieve it. If someone has done it before, then why not you? So you can achieve it. Just go for it. At least there's something ahead. If you really want to get it, then go for it. Thank you for your time. If this has been an exciting moment, you can unmute yourself now and say, yes, it has been.
Yes, it has been.
Well, yes, it has been
Yes,
exciting
yes.
moment, real exciting moment. So I learned.
Yes, it has
I'm learning a
been.
lot. I'm
Yes,
very
it has
happy.
been.
Out.
Yes, that's
Okay, so
Solidity.
on a
It
final
has
note,
been.
Yes.
That's been.
I've
Yes, it has been.
excited.
It's you
Okay,
honestly.
Yes, it has
if
been.
you're excited, I want you to let it flow
Yes,
then.
oh yes, oh kudos people,
Say,
kudos
I
people,
am
oh
excited.
Solidity people.
Yes, it has been.
Are you lying? Great, 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 great.
Yes.
Okay,
It's you
so
honestly.
you have had them speak. They're excited and thank you everybody. Our instructors, your students are excited already. So we see again in our group, we see again in our class. Class starts 20th June. Thank you for coming. The meeting is
All
over.
right.
You
Thank
can
you. Thank you.
close. Thank you.
Can we go offline now?